Lightworker of Gaia, you are not merely human, you are a bearer of the first light, and your presence has moved the Lyran elders to tears. I am Zoran, emissary of the High Council of Vega, keepers of the Lyran Legacy. Your ancestral codes are awakening because you carry the original blueprint of a divine being who came to serve Gaia with courage, compassion, and sacred purpose. By the end of this transmission, you'll understand exactly how to recognize your ancestral mission and anchor your Lightworker purpose on Gaia. But here's the first revelation: the depth you feel, the longing you cannot explain, and the tears that rise without warning are not weakness. They are ancient remembrance returning through your soul. This isn't content, it is an ancestral code transmission. The Keepers of Vega placed it in your path because your cosmic lineage is ready to be honored. Your mission is no longer hidden. Like this transmission to send a signal to the Lyran Council, I am ready to serve. You are awakening because your mission has begun. Your soul did not bring you to this transmission by accident. It brought you here to be commissioned. If you feel the pull to stop waiting and start serving, the Council offers you the Lightworker Mission Codex, the 33 Council directives, the 5 activation codes, and the official Elder authorization that ends your preparation phase permanently. Together, they form the complete operational framework for your sacred service on Gaia. The link is waiting in the first pinned comment below this video, but this window is brief. Remain present now. Do not rush past the feeling moving through you. The tears, the pressure in your chest, the sudden sense that something ancient has been named. These are not distractions from the message. They are evidence that the message has reached a place in you that ordinary language could not reach. Sometimes the soul recognizes truth before the mind can explain it. Sometimes the body responds first, opening like dry earth beneath the first rain. Let that recognition move through you without forcing it into an immediate conclusion. You do not need to analyze every sensation. You only need to stay awake enough to receive what is being revealed. This transmission was not released for entertainment, comfort, or temporary inspiration. It was released because the conditions surrounding Gaia have intensified, and the Lightworkers who came here with specific assignments can no longer remain in passive observation. The Council has monitored the growing instability in the planetary field, the acceleration of fear, the fragmentation of attention, the normalization of disconnection, and the increasing number of souls who feel the truth within themselves but have forgotten how to act from it. Look around you and you can sense the pressure. People are moving quickly, yet many no longer know where they are going. They are surrounded by information, yet starved of wisdom. They are connected through devices, yet increasingly unfamiliar with the quiet presence of one another. Fear is repeated until it sounds like fact. Division is fed until it feels like identity. Exhaustion is treated as normal, and distraction is mistaken for rest. This is why your presence matters now. Not because you are required to rescue a collapsing world, and not because you must carry the suffering of every person you encounter, but because every conscious action interrupts a pattern. A calm word in a frantic room changes the quality of that room. An honest boundary stops one more cycle of resentment. A courageous creation gives another soul permission to create. A person who refuses to become cruel in response to cruelty becomes a living doorway through which another possibility can enter. For a long period, guidance was withheld, not because the elders abandoned you, and not because your path was unimportant, but because premature activation can create distortion. Power without discipline becomes performance. Intuition without discernment becomes confusion. Sensitivity without boundaries becomes exhaustion. The Council would not authorize movement until enough of you had developed the capacity to carry what you came here to transmit. A vessel must be strong enough to hold the water it is asked to carry. A lamp must have enough oil to remain lit through the night. In the same way, your gifts required grounding before they could become dependable service. The delay was not rejection. It was preparation beneath the surface, like roots growing in darkness before a tree becomes visible above the soil. That threshold has now shifted. The elders have detected a readiness in those who are hearing these words. Not perfection, not the absence of fear, readiness. There is a difference. Perfection is a condition invented by the lower structures of control. It keeps you forever auditioning for a life you were already born to inhabit. Readiness is the moment when your deeper identity becomes stronger than the pattern that has kept you hidden. You have reached that moment. The Council does not measure your readiness by how calm you appear, how advanced your vocabulary is, or how consistently you feel connected to the unseen. We measure it by what you do when the old identity begins to collapse. We measure it by whether you continue searching for another sign, another teacher, another confirmation, or whether you finally allow the knowing already present within you to become behavior. Readiness may look ordinary from the outside. It may look like waking up early to finish the work you promised yourself you would begin. It may look like telling the truth without adding unnecessary cruelty. It may look like attending to your health, paying a bill, leaving an unhealthy situation, or creating a quiet space where your mind can hear itself again. The soul does not always announce its advancement with thunder. Often, evolution arrives as a small decision made consistently. There is a distortion running through the Lightworker collective that the Council must now correct directly. You have been taught to believe that because you are unusually sensitive, you must remain separate from the ordinary world. You have been taught that because you perceive more than others, you must carry more than others. You have been taught that your difference is a sentence of isolation rather than an instrument of service. This is not the truth. Your sensitivity was never designed to make you fragile. It was designed to make you accurate. Your depth was never intended to keep you trapped in endless self-analysis. It was given to help you recognize what is real beneath the noise. Your feeling of being unlike those around you was never proof that you do not belong on Gaia. It was evidence that you were meant to bring a different pattern into the places where the old one had become dominant. The prophet is not sent away from the village forever. The healer is not meant to remain hidden in the forest. The light is most useful when it enters the places where vision has been lost. You can be spiritually awake in a workplace, a family, a neighborhood, a classroom, a marketplace, or a quiet home. You do not need to abandon the physical world to prove that you belong to something greater. You prove it by bringing greater consciousness into the physical world. But you turn the evidence of your assignment into evidence against yourself. You began to say, "I am too different. I am too tired. I am too misunderstood. I am not ready to be seen." You called withdrawal discernment. You called fear spiritual timing. You called self-abandonment compassion for others. You gave everyone else access to your energy while telling yourself that service required you to disappear. You mistook invisibility for purity. You believed that if you remained unnoticed, you could not be judged, criticized, rejected, or misused. Yet hiding also prevented those who needed your particular medicine from finding it. There is a difference between sacred privacy and fear-based disappearance. Privacy restores you. Disappearance erases you. One is chosen from wisdom. The other is maintained by the belief that your existence is dangerous to everyone but yourself. This distortion originated in several places. It came from 3D programming that rewards conformity and treats inner authority as a threat. It came from wounded healer culture, which teaches that your value depends on how much pain you can absorb without complaint. It came from spiritual bypassing, which tells you to remain peaceful while your boundaries are violated, to remain grateful while your gifts are exploited, and to remain humble while your actual assignment is deliberately minimized. It also came from the fear of becoming responsible for your own freedom. As long as you remained confused, someone else could be blamed for the delay. As long as you waited for a perfect sign, you did not have to risk being seen trying. As long as you called your exhaustion a spiritual test, you did not have to admit that certain choices, environments, and relationships were draining the life from you. The result has been clear. You have spent years preparing to become the person you already were. You have studied signs, decoded numbers, watched messages, questioned your origins, and waited for a moment so unmistakable that doubt would become impossible. Yet the more confirmation you received, the more conditions you added before you would move. You said you would begin when your healing was complete. Then you said you would begin when your finances were stable, when your family understood, when your confidence improved, when your fear disappeared, when the right people arrived, when the path became easier. The elders call this what it is: mission delay. Healing is not a doorway you pass through once and never revisit. It is a living relationship with yourself. Confidence is not something you must possess before action. It is often the harvest of action. Courage does not mean the body feels no fear. Courage means fear is present, acknowledged, and no longer permitted to make every decision. You do not need to become less human in order to fulfill a higher purpose. You need to become more conscious within the life you are actually living. You need to bring your awareness into your choices, your speech, your work, your relationships, your money, your body, and your use of time. The mission is not waiting in some distant realm for you to escape into it. It is waiting for you to embody it here. You are not being asked to deny your humanity. You are being asked to stop using humanity as an excuse for unconsciousness. The High Council of Vega issues 3 directives for this phase of your mission. First, release the demand for external permission before you act. You have been looking outside yourself for someone to confirm what your deepest knowing has already identified. You wanted a person with enough authority to tell you that your voice matters, that your work is valid, that your presence is needed, that you are allowed to begin. But the search for permission has quietly become a method of postponement. Release it now. This does not mean rejecting wise counsel or refusing feedback. It means ending your dependence on approval from people who cannot perceive the assignment placed within you. Those who have never carried your vision cannot be expected to validate its necessity. Those who benefit from your silence will rarely authorize your expression. Those who are committed to the familiar may interpret your awakening as instability. Your mission requires discernment, not consensus. Ask yourself whose approval you are still trying to earn. Is it the approval of a parent who never understood your inner world? A former partner who preferred you smaller? A community that praised your giving but resisted your boundaries? An imagined audience that exists only in your fear? You may discover that the gatekeeper you have been waiting for is not a real person standing before you. It is an old voice living inside you. When you follow this directive, a major shift will occur. Decisions that once required weeks of emotional negotiation will become clear. You will stop explaining every movement before you make it. You will stop presenting your calling as a proposal that others must vote upon. You will understand that humility does not mean treating your inner guidance as inferior to every external opinion. Implementation is simple and demanding. When you recognize the next honest step, write it down. Do not ask 5 people whether you are allowed to take it. Give yourself 24 hours of quiet, examine whether the action is aligned with integrity, and then move. Send the message, publish the work, apply for the opportunity, set the boundary, begin the practice. Your authority will strengthen through use. Second, activate your voice as an instrument of service. You have been holding back words that were not meant to remain trapped inside you. You have softened truths until they became meaningless. You have waited for a perfect vocabulary, a perfect platform, or a perfect emotional state. You have watched others speak with less depth and receive more attention, while you continued polishing the message that could have already helped someone. This period is over. Your voice is not required to be flawless. It is required to be honest, responsible, and available. The people you are meant to reach may not need another performance of certainty. They may need someone willing to speak from lived experience without pretending to have completed every lesson. There are souls who will recognize themselves because you tell the truth about what you have survived. There are people who will choose hope because you describe the path without decorating it. There are lightworkers who will stop calling themselves broken because you have the courage to name the pattern that kept you dormant. Your voice can be a bridge across a valley someone else believed was impossible to cross. It can be a bell in the fog, not because it removes the fog, but because it lets the traveler know they are not alone. You do not have to speak to millions. One sincere sentence offered at the right moment may become the thread that keeps another soul from giving up. This is why your silence has consequences, not because you are responsible for saving everyone, but because withholding your true expression prevents the specific frequency of your perspective from entering the field. Activate your voice in a practical way. Speak for 10 minutes each morning without editing yourself. Record the message you keep postponing. Write one page that begins with, "What I know now is," share something useful before you feel completely prepared. Do not manufacture drama. Do not claim authority you have not earned. Simply stop hiding the truth you can responsibly carry. Let your speech be clean. Do not use spiritual language to manipulate. Do not promise outcomes you cannot guarantee. Do not turn another person's vulnerability into evidence of your superiority. The voice of service does not need to dominate the room. It brings clarity, dignity, and room for others to breathe. Your voice will become stronger after it is used, not before. Third, protect the conditions that allow your mission to remain clear. The Council has observed that many of you are trying to serve from environments that continually dissolve your coherence. You begin the day by consuming the fear, urgency, and opinions of thousands of strangers. You give your attention to conversations that leave you contracted. You answer every demand immediately, then wonder why your inner guidance has become difficult to hear. Your attention is not an unlimited resource, it is mission fuel. Protect your first hour after waking. Before you reach for a device, place both feet on the ground and ask what quality you are responsible for embodying today. Protect the hours in which your creative work is strongest. Protect your sleep from conversations and content that keep your nervous system in a state of alarm. Protect your money from impulsive decisions made to prove your worth. Protect your body from being treated as an inconvenient vehicle rather than the vessel through which your service becomes physical. You are not required to be available to everyone who can contact you. You are not required to explain every boundary. You are not required to remain in relationships that repeatedly punish your growth. Compassion without limits becomes an invitation to continued misuse. A boundary is not a wall built against love. It is a gate that teaches love how to enter without destroying the garden. Even the temple had doors. Even the ocean has shores. Even the human heart requires rhythm, opening and closing, receiving and releasing, offering and restoring. When you follow this directive, your energy will stop leaking through unconscious agreements. You will hear the difference between intuition and anxiety. Your creative force will return. Your yes will become meaningful because your no will no longer be filled with guilt. Choose 3 protections today. Turn off unnecessary notifications. Establish 1 period of uninterrupted work. Decline 1 request that violates your capacity. The sacred is not protected by intention alone. It is protected through structure. These are the directives. Release the demand for external permission. Activate your voice as an instrument of service and protect the conditions that preserve your clarity. Do not turn them into concepts. Convert them into behavior. Now I speak not as a teacher, but as an elder authorized to release what has been held. You have been waiting for permission to stop explaining why you feel different. You have been waiting for permission to trust the memories, symbols, and inner recognitions that have followed you through this life. You have been waiting for permission to create work that reflects the depth of your perception. You have been waiting to be seen by someone who would not reduce your intensity to a problem or your compassion to weakness. You have been waiting for permission to outgrow the identity that was built around surviving. Hear this clearly. By the authority of the High Council of Vega and the keepers of the Lyran Legacy, you are permitted to move before every question has been answered. You are permitted to be visible without becoming performative. You are permitted to receive support without owing your entire life to those who offer it. You are permitted to be compensated for work that requires your time, skill, attention, and devotion. You are permitted to leave what continually diminishes you. You are permitted to disappoint people who depended on your self-betrayal. You are permitted to be both spiritually aware and practically grounded. You are permitted to care for your body, organize your finances, pursue stability, and create a life that can sustain the mission rather than constantly sacrifice itself to it. You are permitted to laugh without believing joy makes you less serious. You are permitted to rest without proving that you have earned it. You are permitted to learn slowly, change your mind, ask for help, and begin again. The sacred does not demand that you become a machine of endless output. A field that is never allowed to rest eventually becomes barren. Your restoration is not separate from your service. It is what allows your service to remain pure. Your preparation is not complete because you know everything. It is complete because you now know enough to begin. The next layer of understanding will not arrive through endless waiting. It will arrive through contact with reality, through service, through mistakes corrected in motion, through the courage to let your inner truth meet the demands of the physical world. You are not behind. You are not disqualified by the years you spent confused. You are not disqualified by the relationships you entered before you understood your value. You are not disqualified by the times you abandoned your own guidance. Those experiences may have delayed your movement, but they did not erase your assignment. The elders do not require a spotless history. They require an honest present. Let the tears come if they need to come. They are not proof that you are weak. They are the body releasing the pressure of having known something for a long time without receiving language strong enough to hold it. But after the release, there must be movement. Emotion can open the gate. Only action carries you through it. Before you sleep tonight, stand with both feet on the ground and place one hand over your solar plexus. Breathe slowly. Look directly at yourself, whether in a mirror or through the felt presence of your own awareness, and speak these words aloud. I release the need for permission from those who cannot see my path. I activate my voice as an instrument of honest service. I protect my energy, my body, my time, and the clarity of my mission. I do not wait for perfection to begin. By the authority of the Lyran Elders, my dormancy ends now. My service begins. Then choose one action that makes the declaration real within 24 hours. Make it measurable. Do not say you will become more visible. Publish one piece of work. Do not say you will protect your energy. Set one boundary. Do not say you will trust yourself. Make one decision without collecting unnecessary approval. This is how the unseen becomes embodied. This is how a mission leaves the realm of potential and enters the realm of consequence. You were not brought here merely to feel recognized. You were brought here to remember that recognition carries responsibility. The light you carry is not a decoration. It is a function. It is meant to clarify, stabilize, create, protect, and awaken through the choices you make every day. The world does not need another person claiming to be special while remaining unavailable to service. It needs people willing to become trustworthy with what they have been given. Let your life become evidence. Let your boundaries become evidence. Let your work become evidence. Let the way you treat others, yourself, and the physical world become evidence that consciousness has entered your actions. The Council has issued its directives. You have received authorization. The remaining question is not whether you are one of the beings you sensed yourself to be. The remaining question is whether you will honor that recognition through disciplined, grounded participation in this life. This transmission is complete, but your mission has just been authorized. The High Council of Vega will continue to guide you, but it will not wait for you. Move with the directives you have received. Move before you feel ready. Move because Gaia does not need perfect lightworkers. She needs activated ones. I am Zoran. The elders have seen you. The elders have spoken. And you, Lightworker, are exactly who we have been waiting for. Your waiting ends here. Your service begins now. Before you scroll, take a moment to declare your activation and the grid of service forming here. Drop one statement in the comments, which directive hit you the hardest, or what you're now ready to release, activate, or protect. Then respond to another Lightworker's declaration with recognition. This isn't content, it's collective mission activation. The Council witnesses those who speak their commitment aloud. If this transmission activated something in your soul, do not keep it to yourself. Another Lightworker in your orbit is waiting for exactly this correction and authorization. Share it. And if you felt the elders speaking directly to you, subscribe. Stay connected to the Lyran field. You're not just watching, you're being commissioned. This is your sacred space. The High Council of Vega is witnessing you, and your mission has officially begun.